Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, my guy A. Lamau just made a video covering the recent drama, and we are going to be getting into it. He's going to be our guide. The Vivziepop Angel Dust Hazbin Hotel Controversy Explained. I feel like this man just put every single keyword he could have possibly done in, in the title, but it's accurate. So let me catch you up to speed. In Hazbin Hotel, the official release is sort of out. It was released for a pre-release for the first 2 episodes. I did pay for the pre-release. I did already watch them. I recorded my reactions, but I will wait until the actual official prime release until I post them on YouTube. They were, I think, great. I think they were really good. They were not the best things I've ever seen, but they were really good in my humble opinion. Now, people want to suck some clout out of the vagina of everyone they can, because this is the internet, where clout sucking is currency. The closer and closer we get to Hazbin Hotel, the more and more drama ends up showing up for no reason, just literally to cash out any complaints that they could have had. They could have had before, but they decided to have it now to cash in on the drama. It's like Matt Pat decides to retire and suddenly they try to cancel him for like 6 different things because, oh, well, now he's famous and we're not gonna get a better chance than this to try to suck some clout off these fake campaigns of hatred. So it's been an absolute nightmare on Twitter, and unfortunately Vivziepop is fanning the flames of this controversy by responding and replying and trying to defend herself and all that stuff, which she should not do. And I promise Stevie, the editor, that I will not be complaining the entire video about how she should just ignore criticism and it would make things much better, but I might do that a little bit, but I'm gonna try not to do it too much. Just note, everything Vivziepop says through the course of this controversy, I think would have been better without saying. That is my disclaimer before we get into it. Editor, if you could please put a counter for how many times I criticized Vivziepop for literally that same thing. Thank you.
Recently, we had the early access launch of the first 2 episodes of Hazbin Hotel. As a result, hate and criticism for both Hazbin Hotel and Vivziepop has hit a new high.
Literally, it's insane. I don't think I've ever seen such an all-time high hatred for this shit. It's absolutely wild.
This level of hate in all of my time of creating content, so in this video I'll go through—
Okay, this level of hate in all your time of creating content, let's be real. People got more hate than Vivziepop. I know that a lot of people don't like to acknowledge the fact that other people get more hate than them because it makes people feel less important and stuff. Vivziepop hate is incredibly surface level. Vivziepop's hate is like your show is shit and you say the fuck word and think that that's comedy. Like, it's hatred to hate. It's not like a real vitriol, like compared to what Dream went through or Quite went through. I think false allegations of actual sexual crimes are by far worse than anything any of this was. Like let's be real here. Just to kind of like put levels to this stuff. This is bad, don't get me wrong. And yes, Vivziepop's making it worse. But let's be honest for a second. Ultimately, this is just people complaining on Twitter for the sake of complaining.
Everything that happened, Vivzie's tweets, and give my thoughts at the end.
And also a certain situation that happens in episode 5 of Hazbin Hotel that got leaked that a lot of people were upset about, but fuck, man, that's gross. All right, you are not right. Buckle your seatbelts, people.
And as well. So, as I mentioned, the first 2 episodes—
God! I'm just saying. I am just saying Angel Dust can get some. Wood.
Released early.
He has fantastic holes.
They were also leaked, which I did a dedicated video on, but after this happened, Vivzie was getting criticism. One point in particular being the character designs for a few characters like Alistair and—
This is the most nothing design. Oh my god. 15,000 likes. Dude, again, this is just like an actual economy of shitting on Vivziepop for the clout. And it's ridiculous. It's gross. First of all, just for the record, it doesn't need to be more than this. How can you hate the Tumblr sexy man television guy? Like, why, bro? It's totally fine. There is nothing here to actually be all upset about. Yes, it's not the most interesting character design of all time, but it's pretty cool.
And Vox. There were tweets made on it that got anywhere between 1,000 to 20,000 likes. Episode 4 of Hazbin Hotel specifically has to do a lot with Angel Dust and is when they debuted the Poison song. A clip of that sequence was leaked.
Oh my god, that character doesn't have 25 unique features. It's so boring. Thank you, Kickstaff. Love you guys.
On Twitter, and many users were quite upset. I'll showcase a couple tweets.
Yeah, so no spoilers, obviously, gonna be in this video. This is just gonna be covering the drama aspect of it.
First says, to all of my followers who plan on watching Hazbin Hotel, I would like to extend a special trigger warning for episode 4, slight spoilers. There is a scene where Angel Dust in detail is assaulted by Val. You see every horrible detail and nothing is at all left to the imagination. None of it is handled with tact. If you are sensitive to this kind of thing, I'd recommend you skip the entirety of the poison scene and a minute or so after. A tweet in the reply showcased...
Yeah, so just to say things beforehand, and I really do believe it is worth me mentioning something very, very specific. Very specific. This is how every single episode of Hell of a Boss and Hazbin Hotel starts. This is the beginning of every single episode. The following cartoon contains graphic violence, strong language, sexual themes, flashing lights, rampant demon horniness. Yes, it's intended for a mature audience. You do not need more of a trigger warning than something like this. I think that this is important to mention. Like, trying to cancel someone for showing graphic violence and stuff, bro, how dare you make believe this is a legitimate criticism? If sexual themes and graphic violence and demon horniness bothers you, the disclaimer is there and you know what you're getting into. If you got to episode 4 to see this scene, you know exactly what's going on. That's 1. 2, and I think this is important to mention, being that these are just a couple of scenes leaked and shit from episode 4, which, let me remind you, is not even out yet, how dare you complain when you don't know the context at all of what's going on? I am all for giving criticism. I like giving criticism to things that I think deserve criticism. Guys, this is rated TV mature, and you don't know the context. How dare you criticize something like this when there is so much of this in so much media and fiction? It's obviously hating just to hate, because you know that there's a massive hate boner for this stuff on Twitter, so you could farm your easy likes by doing this shit. I'm just saying, that's my hot take.
The scene in question, and it got over 1.5 million views. I'll show a couple quote retweets. This one says, "When you wake up and Vivziepop is still alive."
I don't know, I got this same exact meme about myself, okay? Dude, it has 4.5 thousand likes. You never want to see some 4,500 people liking a tweet saying that it would be better if you were dead. That sucks, but also that's the internet.
Me when I have rocks and Vivzi's head is in my throwing range.
Yeah, again, this has 2.7 thousand likes, all right? 2,700 likes of just casually saying, if I could, I would hurt Vivziepop. That really sucks. This is awful. This is a borderline threat. It's so bad. Can you imagine being this hated for creating some piece of fiction that some people arbitrarily don't like? I'm telling you, these people ruin what Twitter is supposed to be. They ruin what discourse is supposed to be. I know that this is a meme, and don't get me wrong, I've gotten worse tweets than this, but I'm just saying, and I mean this with love and peace and wholesomeness in my heart. If you are trying to make a safe space for people complaining about legitimate issues, then you gotta not complain about bullshit. It delegitimizes the claims of anyone that has anything to actually say.
And one longer thread was made.
Oh my god, what is this thread? 20,000 likes on the first one. Okay, I'm gonna break my silence as a gay man and a victim. I hate Angel Dust. I hate him, and I hate how his fan acts like he's the pinnacle of gay men. I hate it. I don't know about if fans act that way. That's nothing that I've seen. Again, you are completely allowed to hate any character you want. And again, if something like this really annoys Vivziepop, that's kind of on Vivziepop. This is like, I guess, a legitimate sort of argument, right? How gay people are considered sinners and all that. Again, I'm not going to say that this isn't a legitimate criticism, because the point isn't this. The point is the people just saying casually, oh, I wish I could just kill Vivziepop in Minecraft, right? Those guys are the cringe harassers for no reason. Like, legitimate criticism, I don't think anyone complains about. I happen to love Angel Dust. I am not gay, though, so can't say.
The full thing on screen if you'd like to pause and read in your own time, but it starts with, trigger warning, essay. Okay, I'm gonna break my silence. As a gay man and victim, I effing hate Angel Dust. I hate him, and I hate how his fans act like he's the pinnacle of gay men. I hate it. And they finish it.
I feel like this is a lot of, it's his personal bias that makes him feel this way to a degree. Again, I feel terrible that this guy is a victim, okay? I don't want to... Not trying to delegitimize anyone, but hating him, that's fine. Hating how his fans act like he's the pinnacle of gay men. Have you ever seen anything like that? I have not. Maybe it exists. because everything exists. But I feel like this is just throwing shade at invisible enemies, literally shadowboxing no one, and making an issue in the fan base that doesn't really exist so that you could arbitrarily create a villain that you could send hate towards and get love for standing up against this invisible foe. That's kind of the vibe this gets. Me. Again, I am not the drama channel that's going to sit here and just quote all the facts. I'm going to try my best to give my opinions, whether you want to kill me for them or not.
The thread saying
but I don't see anyone talking about Angel Dust like he's the pinnacle of gay men. I feel like that's insane. I've never heard of this, and even if you've seen it somewhere, you see tweets saying everything. You can't just take a tweet with 6 likes and be like, I can't believe the fandom would do something like this.
Addict music video did a better job at conveying Angel Dust's trauma and distress. However, the way it's done in the final show is abysmal. After this, some heavy criticism was aimed at one of the Spindle employees that worked on the poison scene. Their name is R2 Ninja Turtle or Raph.
Dude, how can you hate on on employees? They're literally being paid to do this. They gotta put food on the table, man. Unless they're hating this person for a different reason that I'm not sure about.
Thread in December, which I'll have on screen again if you'd like to pause and read. But basically, people were criticizing this artist because they ship Angel Dust with Valentino.
Oh. Oh, he's one of those shipping people. Oh! Ah, yes!
Criticism was levied because of their NSFW art, how they were endorsed by other Spindle members, a reply they made to an R-word art piece, and a tweet made by them where they say they're not an SA victim but have had years of being controlled. A tweet was also brought up showing Raph and Vivzie endorsing or saying they want to purchase a pin set for Huskin Angel that shows them being chained up. So, following up...
Wait, so they're hating this person for having a cringe fetish? Like, is that really why you're hating this person? I mean, I guess, okay. Hope you've never dipped your toe into any hentai communities. You don't want to know how popular the fucking rape tag is everywhere. It's not my thing. I get very grossed out by that stuff, but I guess nothing to say right now.
All of this, Vivzie made...
Verbally shaking right now. Bro spent $50K for a rape fantasy. Oh my god.
Several tweets on the issue. Vivzie starts with, "This place is just effing embarrassing at this point. Y'all should come over to Threads/Insta."
And that's it. That's what she said, and she never said anything on the topic ever again. God, I'm so happy she finally decided this was the end of her Twitter discourse. Epic foreshadowing.
One person asked what
Never mind! I take it all back! I was so wrong! No!
happened. Vivzie says, "Literally everything, lol." One user mentions that Twitter is awful. Vivzie says, "I think anywhere the 15-year-old of the week can't get 20k likes in an inaccurate rage post is a good place to be."
Oh, God. First of all, you're right. Second of all, you don't have to do it as like a subtle jab. Okay, dude, the editor's just gonna keep adding the plus ones. I'm sorry, Stevie. I'm sorry. God, just ignore it. I don't think calling out the 15-year-old of the week is going to stop them from doing it, though. God, Vivziepop, please. You're giving them so much attention. Stop.
When reply says that Twitter users lack common sense, Vivzie replies with,
It's like, yes, I will feed humans to the cannibals so that the cannibals aren't hungry enough to eat more humans.
"Honestly, I think it's just the same circle jerk of people. There's a lot of them, and exaggerated/negative posts are easier to jump onto than, corrections of misinformation or people with critical thinking. That's not what this place is for, but far more people don't care." In response, one user replied and reassured Viv. They said, "You hired someone with an R-word and non-con fetish onto your staff. At this point, you should receive heavy backlash."
Holy shit, 11,000 likes. Hidden reply. Vivziepop, you gotta stop hiding replies. It looks like you care. But also, god damn, 11,000 likes. Getting absolutely ratioed. Non-con is a non-consent fetish. First of all, let's make a clarification and a differentiation between this as a fetish in media versus actually something that people do in real life. I'm just saying, that's one. Two, does she have to vet every one of her employees' fetishes? It's like, before Stevie edits my video, do I have to ask him what his favorite hentai tags are? Does Stevie have to give me a list of all the porn he's ever consumed so that I could make sure that he didn't actually watch anything that I consider gross and yucky? Like, what take is this exactly? I'm just not sure.
Vivziepop hid this reply and blocked the user. As a result, she got heavy criticism for this. One Twitter reply from Viv says how much better Threads is than Twitter. She replied to an earlier tweet saying, "I know there are far more people who love than hate, and the things that get the massive likes at this point have regressed to the most laughably effed up stuff I've ever seen. It's just really annoying. So I think I've just sort of had enough. I'm trying..."
Just don't leave Twitter.
Trying really not to be on here.
Listen, you don't need to be there. You made your bank. Dude, can you explain to me why Vivziepop has been on Twitter for all this time, okay? And still, she didn't announce the actual voice cast for the freaking show. It was some random article that announced it somewhere, and then when people tried to cover that article that talked about the voice cast for Hazbin Hotel, they got copyright strikes by that article. Why didn't you announce it? This is why you have a Twitter, right? Why didn't you tell people that there was going to be like a normal pre-release? I don't know anyone that actually knew about the pre-release thing for the $6 that you could watch it a week early before it happened. Bro!
One person replies supporting Viv. Viv says, "That's why I suggest people head over to Insta. It's night and day, and you can see more of what I've been doing over there."
And just leave and never come back. There's no reason. There's no reason. Oh!
A tweet was made with the caption, "Rut Row," showcasing Vivzie endorsing a Valentino music video made by Raph back in 2021. Vivzie says, "Oh wow, something unofficial, wow." Vivzie replied to an earlier quote retweet saying, "The scene isn't effing out yet. You people see leaked snippets and hear some dumbass say it's something and all act like you're so above it. Get over yourselves. At least speak on it when the actual scene comes out. Christ."
Honestly, very based Vivian take. Incredibly based Vivian take. I think I mentioned this earlier in this little video segment thing. The fact that people are canceling her for a scene that's not even out is asinine. And it's going to be people that just want to hate. And because they want to hate, they will do so, and they could for free. You see, the beauty of Twitter is the following. Source, trust me, bro, works. And that doesn't make for healthy discourse, bro. It's so bad. Now, don't get me wrong. While I think she's completely correct in this case, that the scene's not out yet and it shouldn't be judged, especially because there's this disclaimer before the shit, I still don't think she should have responded. I think ignoring it would have still been better. I just need to say this so Stevie can up the Nux said that counter. But bro, come on, man.
She replies to another user with, "Get the level of cruel, misinformed vitriol I do on a daily basis and talk to me then. Other creators have absolutely clapped back in the past and others have stayed silent but left the internet due to the shit they get. I fight back because that's who I am.
Well then, you know, honestly, in that case, you're just making your bed and now you have to lie in it. What a weird take. The main reason people jump on you and your shit is because you make yourself so easy to hate by conducting yourself with the grace of a middle schooler. You don't see any other creator act like this. I used to respect you and enjoy your work." Okay, that's a weird take. But why respond to that? Get the level of cruel, misinformed vitriol I do on a daily basis and talk to me then. Vivziepop. When they were releasing Epstein's list of pedophiles that visited his island, right before the list came out, someone got 20,000 likes making a tweet calling me a pedophile and saying that I would be on that list. Me, Nux, this guy that's commentating right now. So as someone that got a level of cruel, misinformed vitriol, not criticizing your work, but literally with no evidence or anything calling you a pedophile, which is, I would argue, maybe even worse. Yes, it's not the same size as the hate you're getting, but it's pretty bad. 20,000 likes is enough, millions of people. So as someone who's been in that position, just don't talk. Just don't speak. Laugh at the idiots that have nothing better to do in their day than do this shit. And cry that the world is cringe in private. Stay off Twitter. I am giving you advice as someone that gets cruel, misinformed vitriol.
Have fun hating me." She continues with,
Oh my god, dude.
"Not kidding, go to anything I post and look at the quote retweets. I'm sorry you lost respect for me, that I've hit a breaking point with the full-on harassment / baseless cruelty I get constantly. I know I've been defensive in the past, I own that, but come on." She replies to someone mentioning the hidden reply. Viv says, "I don't normally hide things, but it really rubs me wrong when someone tries to come for me and an SA survivor on my team based on leaked content that is widely misinterpreted. I'd appreciate if you..."
I guess you could explain your thoughts every time. And every time you explain your thoughts, I guess there will be people that see where you're coming from. But there will be more people that see it as a sign of weakness to jump down your throat, ultimately.
Watch the episode and form your own opinion. Even your attitude right now is so dismissive and unempathetic. You sit back and watch someone get unending hate, but I think since they react, they just deserve more and more and lose respect for them. I don't know, it's just sad to me. It's become more of a thing because the harassment has never been this bad. It's
true. I think Twitter is at like literally an all-time high. An all-time harassment high right now. And while I am saying things that are critical of Vivziepop's conduct on Twitter and stuff like that, don't think that means that I don't feel really bad for her that she's dealing with this. In any normal world or society, it would be completely insane, and no one throughout all of history has received this level of hatred and vitriol because there's never been such an accessibility and ease of ability to hate someone. So don't get me wrong. I feel terrible for her. I just think she's making just a terrible decision and she's feeding the flames. But God, I'm sorry.
Reached a fever pitch. It isn't my priority in any way, but it is a pretty loud constant here on Twitter. I don't think I can be here, and it's easier said than done to leave, but trust me, I'm trying.
You should. You have a life. You have people in your real life that you could care about, that you could love, that you could spend time with. Your job, you're making great money making content. There's no reason to be on Twitter for extra promos and stuff. Like, you sold a show to Prime. You succeeded. You won at YouTube. You won at the indie animator game. You won at being a storyteller. God, it's so sad. It's so sad watching. And you know, you're just addicted to constantly refreshing your notifications to see the hate every single time because you just have to see.
Vivzie made some comments about the whole thing on Threads. Only on effing Twitter can our show get late.
Okay, but no one's ever going to Threads. Going to Threads, that's that's a huge L. Bro, no, why do you go to Threads? Just like you need to talk. She needs to let it out somewhere. It's like, I feel so bad for her, but like, God, you're digging your own grave.
So unfairly with random.
She gets off to the hate. Okay, dude, that's insane. And that's definitely not the case. I just think that she feels like if she keeps talking with rational common sense, finally people will stop hating on her. And that's just not gonna happen. Rational common sense does not work on Twitter.
Random shots from scenes that are shown way out of context, and people circle jerk about what they think the scene is or how bad something is done without even seeing it. It's so effing stupid, and I'm over it. It doesn't take away from what we've done and how proud we are of it. But this insane standard we are held to is ridiculous, and Twitter is just a cesspit. My truest 2024 goal is getting the F away from it. Also, ignoring the voices of SA survivors just because you want to shit on a cartoon or a scene you haven't even watched is effing disgusting, and everyone doing that in the name of moral high ground is utterly loathsome. Sorry I'm spicy right now, I saw people demanding proof of SA survivors to speak on it, and holy shit, how unself-aware can y'all effers be? Well,
again, listen, you can't, just like you had that one guy that was hating on Angel Dust because people in the community are calling Angel Dust the pinnacle of gay men, which is obviously insane. Saying that I'm upset now because I saw someone demanding proof of an SA survivor, that's kind of the same idea. The fact that there are just so many people on Twitter, and they are incredibly biased to one side or the other. And anyone that is that biased is going to say the dumbest shit imaginable. It's not a public mindset, even though there are a lot of people that do that shit. It's probably worth mentioning, but goddamn, don't you have something better to do with your life than hate on some random girl making an animation on the internet?
Probably delete later. This isn't anything new. I just wanted to scream because wow, do a lot of people on Twitter suck. It's unreal how much worse the platform has gotten.
I don't want to be some armchair psychologist, but dude, Vivziepop needs some people in her real life. The fact that she's using Threads to scream into the void is just not speaking well of her actual IRL mindset. Maybe I'm the healthy one. Maybe I'm the mentally healthy motherfucker on this platform. I don't know. But goddamn.
She continues, I'm really going to try to get off Twitter this year. It's just not worth it. But it's my biggest platform and I really did enjoy it for a long time. But
it is not your biggest platform. You get 20 million views on every video you post on YouTube. Twitter, you're gonna talk to 5,000 people on Twitter?
It's just such a bad place for me. But I do hope to see more of you over here. And her final post says, I absolutely hit a breaking point today. I don't know why, but ugh. I'm just so tired of you guys. I am sorry to ever engage in negativity. It burdens everyone and it needs to stop. I'll do my best.
One thing I do have to say, A. Lamau does such a good job compiling everything from all the different platforms and covering a narrative from top to end. That's why I like using his content. He's not too opinionated, which is great because I'm super opinionated, and he gets to cover the actual like facts, and I get to put my dick in holes. That was a weird analogy.
Allegedly, some Hazbin Hotel fans were sent the cat in a blender video from a couple months back.
What the fuck? Hey, don't come into my DM and send me an animal blender videos and say if you defend Vivziepop. Bet you defend Vivziepop if she wrote this. Yo, what the frick is that? Oh my god! That's horrible! Again, it could be true, could be fake, could be trying to get clout, but also could just be real because people on the internet are absolutely unhinged.
And finally, the Spindlehorse Instagram posted a story pointing out the graphic footage warning at the start of Hellverse.
Yes! Yes, be petty, my friends! The pettiness! That's what I love. That's the way to go, baby! The company's Instagram account just casually posting the goddamn disclaimer in the front of every single episode. Nothing but respect.
Videos. So that's everything covered. After taking a look at everything, it's been a bit of a complicated
Dude.
mess. On one hand, I can understand why a lot of people are angry at Viv and the team for the Angel Dust video. However, you can't really form a full opinion just yet without seeing the actual episode. The small clip was leaked and we don't know the context before or after. The scene looks quite graphic, and from what I've seen so far, I do prefer the way Addict showed Angel's relationship with Valentino. However, people are operating off a short leaked clip. We'd have to wait.
Again, I'm not saying that the criticism is invalid. I sort of agree with you, Mr. A. Lamau. You like balancing it. You're here saying that, both sides. I definitely hear you, both sides. The way I see it, if you don't have the context, just shut up. The episode is going to be coming out in a freaking week. Wait. See the context, or don't. No one's forcing you to watch it. But once you actually have the context, then you could legitimately cover it. Covering it without context is not fair. It's legitimately unfair. And no one's forcing you to watch it. So there's no reason to hate someone that's not forcing you to watch it, then put a disclaimer on it first. I don't know. Maybe that's my take. It's like when I'm not going to click on something that'll make me uncomfortable and be like, wow, that made me uncomfortable. We should kill this guy. Especially when it's not out yet and you don't have the context for it.
Wait and see how it is depicted once the episode properly releases on the 19th. As for the stuff regarding Raph, I think it's justified for people to be upset. People are allowed their opinion on the Angel and Valentino ship, but I don't think going after Viv and other employees for just interacting with them is the right move at all. It's targeted harassment. There are people demanding proof from SA survivors, which is also messed up.
That's gross. And it's also none of your business. Imagine going to someone who says that they survived sexual assault, okay? And they do something that you don't like, right? The first thing that you do is not asking them to prove and demanding proof that they were sexually assaulted. Why the fuck are you entitled to that? They owe you nothing. They don't have to defend themselves to you. Who the hell are you?
Understand why people can't just calmly discuss the issue instead of resorting to harassment and victim blaming.
I don't understand. Why don't they just calmly do the issue? That's great. Why don't the Twitter people that make money and farm impressions through outrage not be outraged? God, I wonder why the people that are trying to suck clout out of something are doing it in a fashion that sucks clout out of it instead of just being normal. That's crazy.
There were Hazbin fans being sent death threats, which is pretty par for the course on Twitter in 2024, unfortunately. And the Cat in a Blender video was being circulated around as well. This isn't the first time that people have been harassed for liking a show, and it definitely won't be the last.
Dude, I get people in my audience harassed for following me on Twitter, okay? And I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad that happens to you guys. That sucks. My best advice is just ignore it, but shit, man.
I've said in my previous videos, I hope that Viv can find the time to move off Twitter and onto Threads or another website. On Twitter, it quickly goes from rational criticism to outright harassment and hate incredibly quickly. If you have any thoughts on the situation, I'd love for you to leave them in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.
Don't worry, I left them, and I was very, very cancelable about my thoughts. Listen, I hate shipping in fiction, especially if the ship is just kind of gross. So, people getting upset at someone for shipping Valentino and Angel, I mean, sure. I don't see why that should upset you as a person. You see, you as a person should have a whole ass life to deal with and not worry about someone else's cringe. That's my humble opinion. But with all of those opinions out of the way, I want you to leave a like, subscribe, follow me on kick.com/Nuxanor, where I sit here and make fun of nitwits and idiots